Formula One returns to Italy for the Formula One MSC Cruises Gran Premio Made in Italy e della Emilia Romagna. We're back in Italy. It's lights out and away we go for episode 142 of the Eating Asphalt podcast. Marco, your homeland. This is a home race for Ferrari, for the Racing Bulls, and for Marco. This is a triple crown.
Yeah, a lot of nerves and potential high expectations going in this race, so I don't like this.
High expectations are always conducive to great performance, and there are no exceptions.
We're going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. It's honestly
fine.
Everyone's so worried about it.
Have fun.
It does feel like a little bit since we've raced. Like anytime there's a weekend off, especially like in front of a couple of weekends we have back to back. I think we got Monza right after. This is going to be we're getting into the thick of it. The pre-summer break back to back is going to be a punch in the face, but we're ready for it. At least it's not at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean we got to buckle down. It's buckle down season.
It is. It's time to get serious and get into the podcast. And today's episode, we got some recent news, TikTok headlines, Imola, Emilia Romagna Grand Preview, country fun facts, gambling paddock, and race predictions. Let's get right into it with our TikTok headlines.
All right, our TikTok headline grabs. Starting off with Alex Albon has a torture fetish. F1 management and FIA band together, finally, to team up on the little guys, the fans. Max is too tired of Formula One, becomes a dual sport athlete. F1 contemplating moving all races to the US by 2040. And then a lawsuit war initiates between Haas and Gunther Steiner. So let's get into these headlines here. Alex Albon has a torture fetish. He just performed a multi-year, or just re-signed, a multi-year deal with Williams. I guess I don't know if it's just like, I didn't have offers on the table for anything else. This is a safe bet. But I mean, why? For a driver that apparently is supposed to have all this talk and like how good he is, multi-year with Williams, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's some like easy escape clause. There has to be, because he was being looked, I feel like he was getting talked about for Red Bull, for Mercedes. Like, that was a little bit shocking, but I mean, talk about job security, right? Like, what a win. What a win. You're the number one driver already. Like, you got job security. You're the one driver. You're like the number one driver by leaps and bounds ahead of your number two driver at your team. Like, you're there. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. Bring on. I feel like he's a talented enough driver that he's just going to stay there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they're going to bring on a rookie or like, some young blood. So like he has just another year to 2 years of a rookie driver trying to figure their shit out. So like, yeah, he has so much wiggle room of, hey, I'm always going to be way, way, way better than my like fiercest competitor. So, I mean, maybe a smart move in that one. He's playing the long game. He's like, I want to make a couple million a year, every single year for the next 10 years. This is probably how you do it.
Do you think they have like a contract signing event where they bring him in and it's like, all right, like everybody pop champagne kind of thing? Or is it just like he runs into the factory, he's like, yeah, fine, writes his name down and then leaves?
Yeah, just like kind of in the midst of like dark of night. He's like, I don't want any paparazzi seeing this. God damn, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Keep this to yourself, everyone here.
If this releases to the public, I'm going to be pissed. All right, moving on to F1 management and the FIA band together, team up on the little guys, the fans. So rumors, obviously we've seen the last couple months to the last year of just like fighting between kind of like F1 management, like the drivers themselves and the FIA. They reached a peace agreement to stop the infighting and align on behalf of the global series. If you're confused, like, oh, why are these guys fighting? Arguments kind of included like on the tightened up side of the drivers. So like they didn't allow drivers wearing jewelry, aka Lewis Hamilton, making political statements, aka Lewis Hamilton, and then like Ben Salem interference. He was like, he was kind of going in and being like, hey, give penalties to X, Y, and Z, or don't give penalties to X, Y, and Z, even when they deserved it. Putting finances at risk by like questioning the valuation. So like bringing in an 11th team. So like the Marco Andretti situation, and kind of bringing in a new player for what, the typical buying. I think they wanted 30 million, which was valuation at 300. They're like, hey, we're worth way, 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 way more than that, or 300 million. So like it was just like all these kind of things lining up. So now I don't know what this means. They just said they made a peace agreement. I don't know if they're going to be like, hey, he gave us a ton of money, so we're going to start doing whatever he says now instead of fighting it.
Yeah, this seems like somebody wrote a story about two people having a beer and shaking hands together to be like, hey, we're cool, right? And then they're like, all right, get that out on the presses right now.
Do you want to make a ton of money? Do you want to stop fighting and then I'll give you a ton of money? They're like, all right, fine. We'll like let you do whatever you want to do, even if it doesn't seem fair to us or the fans.
Yeah, this is like mom and dad giving you a couple of bucks to be like, hey, shut up for a little bit. And they're like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we're the other brother that's like, what about our money? And they're like, get back in the cage. Watch your brother. He's going to have fun. All right, moving on. Max is too tired of Formula One and becomes a dual sport athlete. So he is participating in both this weekend alone, both the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix as well as the 24-hour iRacing event. So I think that 24-hour iRacing event occurs on Friday. It would have been really cool to see if there was like, hey, we have a sprint weekend. What's going to happen, brother? But it is not a sprint weekend. So yeah, he's going to just be racing all day Friday. He's done this in the past. Earlier this year, he actually did it, but it was not this like big of a 24-hour event. So yeah, I mean, it's just other drivers are fighting for their lives, and he's fighting to win in other racing events.
Can I ask the dumb like elementary school question of like, is he racing for a full 24 hours, or is it a team where it's just like, all right, tag, you're it, now you race?
I did think that exact same thing when I read the article. I didn't do. I don't know. I should have looked. I probably should have. But I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, what's the handoff? Like, hey, you press this button, and then that guy's button turns green, and he can take over, like virtually step in the car. I don't know. It'd be awesome if he stayed up an entire 24 hours though, and he's just coming to the track just like droopy-eyed, exhausted.
How do you pee or how do you poop if you have 24 hours where you're just sitting behind the wheel of a car? I think.
Have you seen South Park? Eric Cartman?
Oh, that's how they do it?
Just have like a bucket below him?
They should extrapolate this into other sports too, where it's like, all right, we're going to do 24 hours of an NFL football game. No time limit except for 24 hours. Just going to keep running up and down.
See who wins.
Double the roster. So it's just like you don't have the lineman.
And like bring in, yeah. Not opposed. Not opposed. A lot of injury, and I like that.
I feel like just in that same situation, like I'm sure it's the same in 24-hour iRacing or even Le Mans, where it's like nobody's tuning in for all 24 hours. So, it's just like you come back and you're like, oh, the Chiefs scored 8 touchdowns in the last 4 hours that I was gone.
I'm going to take their word for it.
Yeah.
Everything was fair. All right, moving on. F1 contemplating moving all races to the US by 2040. So recent rumors and news is that Chicago will be hosting another U.S. Grand Prix starting in 2026, which makes this up to 4 U.S. races.
4 U.S. races, and not, I would say 4 too little, honestly.
Yeah, so we're like what, like 15% of all races now? A little over 15%? Hell yeah.
If other countries are getting mad at that, why don't you have one of your private equity firms buy Formula One? U.S. is the one that thought of it. Suck it.
Be a cooler country too. I don't know.
Yeah,
throwing that one out there.
Get richer is a good thing that we should say as Americans to everybody else.
Be cooler, get richer, or shut the fuck up. All right, our last recent headlines. Lawsuit war initiates between Haas and Gunther Steiner. So it's basically Gunther suing Haas for kind of like how everything went down and his like department. And then Haas just turned around and started suing Gunther Steiner for, I think, a slew of things. So that's fun.
We're in an old-fashioned sue-off right now where it's like, oh, you're going to sue me?
You're going to sue us? Guess what, buddy? Lawyer up.
It's like, I already have a lawyer. I'm suing you.
Actually, no, I'm actually lawyered up because I sued you. And it's like, oh, guess what? We lawyered up as well because you sued us. We're going to sue you.
Guess what? We have two lawyers and you only have
Yeah.
one.
We have
So
one defending and one attacking.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what a fun thing. Imagine being a Haas driver right now, and just being Nico and being like, hey, what's going on? Like, what are we, we're suing who?
So don't piss off Gene, is what I'm hearing.
Right. Yeah. That's honestly a good precedent to set. I feel like Fred Vasseur
Yeah.
should
It's like,
be
if you're going to
like,
do
hey,
anything
Carlos.
that makes me mad, see you in court, buddy.
Yeah. Carlos, if you don't get P4 in our home race, you can expect a summons to court. Where are they suing? Is this an American court that they're doing it or an international court?
This is over my head. Also, another like more diligence I should have done into the articles I read. Kind of a headline grab. Like this is a sector is headline grabs. It doesn't say read the paragraphs after.
Yeah, I think it would kind of like take away the foundation, the integrity of this sector if we just read the article. We're looking at headlines and drawing our own conclusions, which is what I think most people on the internet do. We're just fitting the mold.
Fit in the mold, and I love it.
All right, good stuff on the TikTok headlines. Let's move on to our Grand Preview of Imola. But before we do that, this part of the podcast is brought to you by the law offices of Steiner and Friends, conflict resolution experts. Business relationships can be complicated. In a short period of time, even the relationships that are the best in the world can fall apart and turn into an ugly mess. One day, a business relationship seems okay, and the next, you want to smash door your way into an ugly professional breakup. Can't think of a more appropriate solution for today's news headlines than that. That's why Steiner and Friends law offices, conflict resolution experts, are here to resolve conflicts at every turn and every disagreement. Turn every disagreement into a win-win, or at least a P5 P5. Thank you, law offices of Steiner and Friends. All right, let's talk about Imola, short and sweet here. Imola, 3-mile track consisting of 19 turns based around the Italian town of Imola, which is 25 miles east of Bologna, Marco's favorite meet. This track used to host the San Marino Grand Prix, which we raced a lot, I think around like early 80s all the way to the 2000s. It is now rebranded as the Formula One MSC Cruises Gran Premio del Made in Italy e del Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. They are rivaling McLaren for the number of sponsorships you can get. I don't know why every GP just doesn't do this. Tack them on.
Yeah, just more the merrier.
Unlike a lot of major international circuits, this runs in a what is it, like reverse clockwise? What's counterclockwise?
Counterclockwise. Yeah.
Thank you. You're going to be hearing that a lot for some reason. Like the announcers and the commentators love being like, "Oh, well, this is different because we're going
The next. They always talk about the other side of the neck.
going counterclockwise." Yeah, big time other side of the neck, which I never understand because it's just like, aren't you like? It's not like you're going in an oval. Like you're still going left and right. But
yeah, there's other small times, right?
yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
What?
The track is pretty diverse in what it offers. So it's not super long. It's only 3 miles, 19 turns. There's only enough space for one DRS zone. So hilly track, good amount of elevation change. It's in Italy, so it's going to have a lot of natural beauty all around it. Coolest part of the track, and my favorite part of the track, also the saddest part of the track, is so from the starting line, you go into turns 2 and 3. It makes up the Tamburello side of the track. That's where Ayrton Senna died. Very tragic, but kind of the silver lining on that is we are going to get to see a big time, like huge amount of highlights from Senna's racing days. Good remembrance. I feel like all the like ESPN, F1 TV, they're always really good about being like, hey, remember Ayrton Senna. Here's what he did. Here's how he was. So
and this is how he died.
Yeah. You want to watch the Senna documentary? You don't need to. Just tune in this weekend. You're gonna learn a lot. Also, this hopefully, I might have to cut this out, but big time P word, pedo, Ayrton Senna, I guess. Did you know that?
Huh.
Yeah.
Kept that under wraps, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot of current drivers' favorite driver.
Lewis Hamilton.
On the track.
Yeah.
They don't clarify.
That's like I watched the pre-race like press conferences, and the questions that you get from the announcers are just simply the stupidest questions. And you can always tell it's just like Oh, you got Alex Kalinakis from Autosport. He's gonna like ask a good question, and then you get the same like recurring guy where you can tell people are like, "How does this guy keep getting invited?"
Yeah, I did.
That would be a
Yeah,
good
honestly.
question to be like, Lewis, you've been a big Ayrton Senna fan. You mentioned him a lot. Are you also into 15-year-old girls? Is that something that is part of your,
Is that
part?
why he stands out to you, buddy?
But anyway, there's gonna be a lot of we should play like one of the not play bingo, but like the counters. Like how many times does the word clockwise get mentioned or Senna get mentioned? And I think like combined, like a good bet, that might be a bet. Probably over, I would say like 35 and a
Yeah, if
half.
you're watching every like you're watching every free practice, like all events, yeah, I bet it's up there.
Yeah.
Couple
Martin,
dozen.
Martin Brundle being like, and approaching Tamburello, which of course is where Senna died. It's like, dude, we heard that last practice session. We get it.
New viewership though.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, we're growing the sport. People don't know that.
Remind them.
Weather-wise, should be a pretty nice weekend, except for potentially, I think there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms. So sunny and high 70s or mid to high 70s Friday and Saturday. Chance of thunderstorms on Sunday. A good time to bring out. How about those the Ferrari wheel covers they were testing out just to stop the spray? Did you see
Didn't
those?
see that. No, I didn't.
Basically, like they're just going over the wheel so that the water doesn't just blast everyone
Oh
behind.
yeah, yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're in like P8, you can see the onboards and they just can't see. Like they have to basically do the track by memory. This is going to cut down a lot on that, but you're still going to get like, it's like, oh, there's,
Wait, it's helping the people behind you?
yeah.
That, dude. No, I want more spray in those assholes' faces, right? I
how
want them to be more difficult. I want them to be like my pants are soaked. There's so much
how
water in here.
how Red Bull of a thing would it be to be like, oh, we made a slight modification to the wheel covers to stop the spray, and actually there's going to be 3 times as much spray behind
Like
us.
instead of it going over, it has a ramp under, and all that water gets shooting up. Yeah, it's just like it's parading down. That's what you want. If you want to win, that's what you guys got to do.
It's like the next iteration of Formula One is going to be like power ups where you can like hit the button and then there's like the spray stream. It's like a
Yeah,
Mario Kart thing. Yeah, just getting blasted in the helmet by like, what was that?
here we go.
All right. There's our Grand Preview for Imola. Let's move on to our country fun facts in a true truths and a lie form. Let's do it. Marco, your home race here. I would let you go first if you would like.
Okay, here I go. Despite Italy being on the wrong side of World War II, the Italian mob actually helped out the USA.
Okay.
Next one. Spaghetti was originally made with rice before using grains around 4 BC.
Okay.
And Italy has a free wine fountain in Calderi d'Ortonia.
Okay. I feel like number 3, you probably wouldn't have just made up Calderi di Otonia. I'm going to go with rice. I'm going to go with rice being
Bang.
nice. That might be my first one of the season where I suss it out. What was the variance that you put in there?
I just made that one up.
There you go.
Off the dome.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see if you can reciprocate then. Mine is, since we have Monza coming up later, right? So I made mine specific to the Roman Empire. Now, is Rome closer to Bologna or closer to Monza? No one knows. Literally,
No. People have talked about it to this day.
scholars have maintained that that's just a fact that we're going to have to be okay with not understanding ever. So yeah, Roman Empire is the theme of my 2 truths and 1 lie. Ready?
Yep.
Number 1, beloved pet octopuses. Romans had a fondness for exotic pets, including pet octopuses. There are records of wealthy Romans keeping pet octopuses in elaborate saltwater pools in their homes. Number 2, Romans used urine for various purposes, including laundry detergent and toothpaste. Wealthy Romans would have even had slaves to collect urine, which was then sold for processing cloth. And hate potions. Romans believed so much in the power of potions made from exotic ingredients like hippopotamus teeth, sparrow brains, and even parts of human bodies, mostly slaves, to concoct potions for things like hate?
I'm going to go with the urine.
Urine is true, believe it or not. They used
Wild.
laundry detergent and toothpaste. It was different back then. It was more like soapy, I think.
Yeah, they're well, like you know how they ate so clean back in the day. It was actually good piss.
I was like, dude,
Uh,
this is so good. You should try this guy's piss.
I'm gonna go with the octopuses.
Octopuses is also true. They would have.
Damn, over two.
Romans did believe in the power of potions, but all of them were around love. So it was not hate. And the hippopotamus teeth and sparrow brains I just threw in there as a little special sprinkle.
I'll be honest. I blinked out after you said potion, so I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even know you said just hate.
All right. Well, good stuff. Hope everybody feels a little more educated on Italy now. And let's move on to our gambling paddock. All right, Marco, you went first for our two truths and a lie country fun facts. I'll go first for gambling paddock here. I'm going to, based off of the upgrades, I'm going to go McLaren, double points finish, 1 unit at minus 225. Not great odds there, but I feel pretty confident. Oscar getting the full upgrade, Lando driving in a car that won him a race last go around. I feel like there's still good enough value to go there. 1 unit at minus 225. I'm going to flip the script a little bit on qualifying. So I always get kind of bummed out when Logan Sargent gets last. I'm going to Logan Sargent last in qualifying, 1 unit at minus 130.
Wait, say that again one more time.
Logan Sargent, last in qualifying, 1 unit, minus 130.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. I didn't think so.
No. All right.
And so got one more for you.
Oh, my Lord.
Carlos Sainz podium, half a unit, plus 275. Home race for Ferrari, plus 275 on the podium.
All right. I like those. I'm going to go with Logan Sargent to finish last, plus 250.
To finish last, not to qualify last?
I think it was to finish last.
Yeah, I think it is. So I have to qualify last. You have to finish last. So we're just
plus 250. I thought was ridiculous.
That's stealing money. The only thing you got to look out for is his car blowing up or him hitting the wall.
Yeah, which I mean, he got those all out of the way the last couple races, right? He's figured out those mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I'm going to go with under 17 and a half cars that are classified. 1 unit plus 125.
I like that a lot.
They did not race in Imola last year. People are rusty. And it might rain.
True. That's it. I mean, locks, all around locks.
2+ monies right there. I'm getting crazy. I have money to blow right now, to be honest.
I'm up a little under 4 units and you're up a little over 11 units. So yeah, you can, I want to see you start taking some moonshots in the next time before summer break.
Dude, it was great winning the 1 moonshot. I kind of wanted it sometimes.
You want to chase that dragon for the rest?
Come on, it's so good, dude. It felt so sweet.
All right, good stuff on Gambling Paddock. Let's get in and wrap up with our race predictions. Your home race. I'll go first. I'm your guest. I'm your guest, basically.
Yeah, it'd be rude for me not to.
Good. You're a not rude guy. I like that about you. Going into the weekend, Marco has 3 predictions right on the season. I have 2. I'm going to go who doesn't finish. Give me Charles Leclerc. Somehow disappointing the Tifosi at home. Minor setback for a major comeback when they go back in Monza. Leclerc winner. Heard it here first.
Oh my gosh.
Driver of the day, give me Lando. Again, back-to-back driver of the day. Let me just chase this. Obviously going to go right. Can't ever go wrong to just chase what's going on in the past race. Douche of the day, give me Sergio Perez. He had a close call last time when he almost barreled into Max. So give me Sergio Perez as douche of the day. Wild card prediction, double Haas points to calm down the Haas volatility that's been going on there with the alleged suing that we've been talking about. Fastest lap, give me Oscar Piastri. And then how many cars don't finish? Give me 4 cars not to finish this race, which would line up well with your under 17 and a half.
I like that. All right, my turn. Who doesn't finish? I'm going to go with Logan Sargent. I'm going to play. He's either last or he's out. I got to win one of these. So it's like, I feel like I'm winning somewhere. Driver of the day, I'm going to go against your Leclerc. I think he gets driver of the day this time. He goes out in Monza. He gets a little bit like high on himself, and then he DNFs in Monza. So we're flipping.
Love it.
Douche of the day. I'm going to do Guan Yu Zhou. No reason why. Fastest wildcard prediction on the top of my head. I'm going to go with, because I didn't do this one, neither Red Bull on the podium. So I'm going to lose that one. Fastest lap is going to be Lando. How many cars don't finish 3? You can't you always rip on me on my wildcard prediction. I'm going to say something so ridiculous that you have no problem with.
You got no complaints from me this time at all. So yeah, you're good. Okay, everybody, back in the saddle. Imola this weekend, Monaco the weekend after, and I want to say, are we back in Monza right after that? No, we're in Canada. We're in Canada, and that's a 2-week break. So we're fine, dude.
Dude. Yeah. We're chilling.
There's not enough F1, basically.
Come on, bring it back. Maybe they can just say, hey, like no break before they go to Canada. Fly fast.
Okay. We can go for that.
Let's get weird.
All right, everybody. Good episode. That was fun. Did good.
We all had fun.
We'll see everybody on the other side of the Formula One MSC Cruises. Amelia reminds me, Grand Prix. See you, assholes.
Ciao, assholes.
Nice.
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
I used to say I lived my life a quarter mile at a time. And I think that's why we were brothers. Because you did too.